Hey posers, welcome back to another Smackdown review by Grumpy Cheeto. First off, this week I'd like to thank my new subscriber, J. John Sick. Now let's kick it off with this Smackdown review. Smackdown this week is in my backyard of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Okay, I have to admit, I've never been there. I've never even heard of the place. But, yeah. We open up the show of Smackdown this week with Jack Thwaga coming out, saying that his daddy's upset with him, and that he just starts crying because his daddy barely eat, barely talks. Really? You're really gonna go that over the top? That your daddy won't eat because you won a stage title? Or you lost a stage title? I don't think so. Anyway, the Big Show comes out and throws out some classic lines like, "Do you want me to call a wambulance?" PG audience. Gosh. So he says, "Oh, Jack, you hurt me. You really did. But you didn't finish the job." So his Big Show starts walking towards the ring. He gets jumped from behind by Cody Rhodes, and then Swagger and Cody beat the crap out of Show in the ring until the new World Heavyweight Champion decides to show up this week. And Cody Rhodes Dashing Cody Rhodes decides to jump out of the ring, and they run away, and Swagger wins away, and so that sets up the tag team match for tonight, which will be Rey Mysterio and the Big Show versus Dashing Cody Rhodes and Jack Thwaga, the All-American. We go to our first match of the night, which is Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. It's a pretty good back and forth match. There was one point where Dolph Ziggler ducked the Trouble in Paradise, and Dolph put him in a pretty well executed famouser. In the end, Dolph Ziggler got distracted by Vicky Guerrero at ringside, which is disgusting, might I add. And he gets hit with the Trouble in Paradise and pinned 1, 2, 3. Afterward, Vicky walks away in disgust. It was not that great of a match. I gave it 2 out of 5 Black Rangers only because I like Kofi and Dolph Ziggler. Next, we go to a backstage promo with the Straight Edge Society, and Serena says, "You know what? We need to tell Kane. We need to tell him. We need to come clean." And, CM Punk says no, and Luke Gallows says, "Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it tonight." And then Serena says, "You know what? If you guys don't handle it tonight, then I'm going to handle Kane tonight." Serena's going to beat the crap out of Kane. This is going to be awesome. Alright, so we go to back to the ring with a in-ring promo with The Peep Show with Matt Hardy. Christian is interviewing Matt Hardy. They're both, of course, Money in the Bank competitors. And they, of course, say, "Oh, we innovated the ladder match and we did all this and that and whatever." And they climb to the top of the ladder and they start talking, and then they get down and they start, they both say, "I'm going to win the Money in the Bank." And in the end, Christian tries to hit Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy knocks him stupid, and then Matt Hardy throws Christian through a chair, or through a ladder. Are you trying to bury Christian even worse than ECW, guys? Really? So Christian better win the Money in the Bank at this point. Next, we go to a promo vid with the newest, gayest wrestler on SmackDown, Alberto Del Rio. He does not lie in a world of lies. Yeah, right. Can't wait for this guy to debut. He's gonna have the same fate as, what's his name? Oh, Vicky Guerrero's boyfriend. Not Edge. Not Dolph Ziggler. What's his name? I can't remember. Okay. Oh, what is his name? Alright, moving on. Match number 2. We finally get to match number 2 of the night, which is Kane versus Luke Gallows. Very short match. Ended in a DQ with the masked guy coming in and trying to beat up Kane. Kane chokeslams everybody. Goes to chokeslam CM Punk. Serena comes in and says, "CM Punk couldn't have been there on May 31st because he was saving me." I thought she was going to say, I'm pregnant and I got impregnated on the May 31st. No! It's a PG audience, so we got to do something else. So what do they show? They show Serena getting wasted at a bar. And then this guy's hitting on her, and she's got, doing shots and drinking, glasses of beer, and it was great. I just laughed. I'm like, this is great for PG audiences, isn't it? So then, CM Punk, Luke Gallows, and the masked guy comes in, and, in the bar, and this is like a GTV type thing. and you know they scold her, and then they take her, you know, they kind of cart off, and Serena's on. So CM Punk could not have vegetated The Undertaker. I gave this match 1 out of 5 Red Rangers because it sucked and it was short. Alright, match number 3 of the night. Another short match, might I add. MVP versus Chavo. Chavo comes out saying that Vicky needs to take notice and keep an eye on him. Match got started. Chavo actually had some great offense in the beginning, then MVP took over and got the win. It was like not even a 5-minute match, I don't think. I gave it 2 out of 5 Yellow Rangers only because Chavo, I like Chavo and he got some decent offense in. But MVP, I also like MVP, and he won. So, match 4 of the night, Kelly Kelly versus Michelle McCool. It was alright. I mean, there was a pre-match beatdown on Tiffany, which, by the way, is not cool. Is not McCool. Anyway, so, you know, and then, you know, Kelly gets all ticked off, and Michelle McCool gets in the ring and gets beat down, then McCool reverses it on her, starts beating her down. In the end, Tiffany clotheslines Layla on the outside. Then Michelle McCool gets distracted by Tiffany, who, by the way, is very distracting. Tiffany is always distracting. And then Kelly gets to roll up 1, 2, 3. I give this match 2 out of 5 Pink Rangers. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good either. I miss Beth Phoenix, Mickie James, Natalya. I miss all of the good female wrestlers on SmackDown. I mean, you know, Layla's still there, but she wasn't in action this week, so. So we go to another video promo for Alberto Del Rio. Why are they cramming this guy down our throats? He doesn't even look like a future superstar. He looks like he's going to be on the Future Endeavors Club 2010 by the end of the year. So why are they pushing this guy? I don't know. I mean, 1 video package, but 2 a week? Really? Ay. I'm still trying to remember that stupid guy's name. That's Vicky's boyfriend. I can't remember him. That's how, you know, it's not S.A. Rijos. That was like a luchador back in 1998. We go to the main event. And we have Rey Mysterio and the Big Show versus Cody Rhodes and Jack Thwaga. Or, I'm sorry, the dashing Cody Rhodes and Jack Thwaga. The All-American. This is by far the match of the night, only because every other match sucked tonight. I can't really imagine what the final score is going to be. So, we started off with dashing Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio. And pretty much Rey Mysterio does like a chuck kick to his head. They go running back and forth, and then he tags in the Big Show in like no time. It's kind of sad, actually. Later on in the match, so the blind tag, Thwagger comes in and then gives a huge big boot to Rey Mysterio's head and takes over the match. Moving on in the match, Cody Rhodes hit a nice springboard, like enziguri chuck kick off the turnbuckle. It was awesome. It's kind of like John Morrison type move. And actually, Todd Grisham named it. He had a great name called The Beautiful Disaster, which I'm okay with. Todd Grisham actually said something right. So, okay, Todd Grisham, you get a thumbs up this week. Later on in the match, Rey Mysterio reverses a power slam into a DDT on Jack Thwagger. Big Show comes in, does some of his, action. Swagger went to roll into the ankle lock like he did last week on Big Show. And then Big Show caught him, held him, and just threw him backwards for a throw. I mean, just by his waist, threw him backwards. It was awesome. But his knee or his ankle gave out. So he went and tagged in Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio hit a springboard leg drop. Then Rey Mysterio was going to hit a 619 on Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger reverses it into an ankle lock, which I'm okay with Swagger using the ankle lock. That's actually pretty cool. I think it works for him. And then Rey Mysterio was in the ropes still from the 619, so he wouldn't let go of the ankle lock, so he got Cody Rhodes and himself DQ'd. I hate DQ endings in main events, but it sent a message. Now Rey Mysterio, he didn't let it go. He dragged Rey Mysterio out of the ring after he was DQ'd and still held it. Finally dashing Cody Rhodes and Swagger looking strong. Big Show and Rey crying like babies. I gave the main event a 3 out of 5 Green Rangers. It was okay. I actually thought it was pretty good. Smackdown tonight, though, overall, I gave it a 2 out of 5. Just because the main event saved it a little bit. But it really probably should have been a 1 out of 5. It was a pretty bad night here on SmackDown. Matches were poor and short. And as I said, the main event really was okay. And that's the only thing that saved it. So, anyway, I'm Grumpy Cheeto, and that's this week's Smackdown review. Check out WrestlingRevolution.com where we have our new pay-per-view predictions game. Check it out if you haven't yet. And the Smackdown will be coming back to you every week. I'm Grumpy Cheeto, and